These are my favorite watches from Geneva Watch Days 2024. I went to Geneva for Geneva Watch Days again. I've been there since the inauguration in 2020, and let's just say this is probably one of my favorite watch fairs to go. First of all, it's open to the public. Second, you get to meet your collector friends from all around the world. There are journalists, there are dealers, and everything is easy going. You can bump into them at the Beau Rivage or when walking near the lake to the next hotel, to the next destination where the brands are situated. And everyone's super chill because, well, it's in summer. It's easy going. And this is why I love this fair so much. Everyone's super chill and it's all about watches and the enthusiasm and love for watchmaking. As I do it every year, here are my 3 favorite watches that I saw during Geneva Watch Days. And we're gonna start off with the quirkiest of quirky watches, and a brand that you might not have on your radar at all is Odo. Odo is the sister brand of H. Moser & C. And now bells should be ringing because they make rectangular television-inspired watches. One of the watches that they presented this year was inspired by a vintage radio. This watch is the Retrovision 47. It's limited to 10 pieces and probably all these 10 pieces have already sold out. The price was, I think, around 60,000 Swiss francs. And this is probably going to be the quirkiest, most weirdest watch that I've ever seen. And then again, if you walk into a room or to a collector event wearing this particular watch, you might be the weirdest guy in the room, but I think also the coolest. And you're going to definitely spark a conversation. I'll have a link down below to the specs because I'm not gonna go into detail on the specs in these videos, but this is really cool. The watch is inspired by a Bakelite radio from, well, I think it's 1950s, and it has this green-white marble kind of look, and it's just quirky. I mean, you have to have a look at it, you have to handle it, but look at it on my wrist. I mean, it's incredible. And this is why I love going to the Geneva Watch Days. Seeing watches like this one. You don't see these watches at Watches and Wonders or at your usual dealer. You don't get to see these types of watches. And this again is what I like about independent watchmaking because they have the freedom to do something like this for fun. So the watch has a kind of weird case diameter with 39 by 44. It has a compact lug-to-lug, but is quite wide with 44 millimeters. It has 12 millimeters of thickness, and it features a flying tourbillon as well, which is incredible as well. The case is hand-painted titanium. It actually doesn't get weirder than that, and it's a fun, funky watch, to be honest. Enough about the Odo watch. There will be a link down below for you to check it out. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun watch. It was cool to have it on the wrist. I could see myself wearing something like this because also the red strap. I mean, red is bold, but in combination with the marble green titanium case, very bold choice. Cool watch, Odo. Really cool watch. Next up, one of my favorite watches when coming to Geneva Watch Days is DeBethune. Last year, they introduced the Starry Seas, a smaller compact case with 38.7 millimeters in case diameter. And this year, they added 2 new watches to this smaller case. And one particular one that caught my attention was the DB28 XS Aerolite, a case made out of anthracite zirconium, and the dial is very special because it's made from a special meteorite, and the meteorite is then painted blue, and then you have the signature random guilloche on the dial, and then you have the starry sky applied white gold stars. A really cool watch, especially on the wrist. I really enjoyed it because it's super thin, yet again with the complex different materials used, the meteorite kind of dial, this dark gray color hue paired with this blue, violet, purple, incredibly cool watch, and super complex, super functional, and really, really interesting. The watch also features the signature floating lugs by DeBethune. I really like DeBethune, and I appreciate their designs because they kind of remind me of star travel. Like, something I really enjoy is Star Wars and these spaceships. And the watches I see at DeBethune are kind of like that. They're a bit different, of course. They're more from this universe and not from the future, but still, they remind me a little bit of riding in one of these spaceships and wearing this watch on the wrist. I especially applaud DeBethune for creating this XS case because the 38.7 millimeters just make a huge difference for people like me that have a smaller wrist and don't want to wear huge watches. Kudos to DeBethune for this particular watch. Really enjoyed it. There is a second version. I think it's a steel wheel version. Also again in this similar XS case. Really cool watch as well. Very different, but still a very cool watch. I really liked the Starry Seas from last year. Super cool, super wearable, something classic that I would personally wear. And this just brings the version from last year to the next level, to be honest. Last but not least, I'd like to finish off with Laurent Ferrier, a very cool watch brand that I honestly did not have on my radar for quite some time. But I had the chance to firstly see some watches during Watches and Wonders this year, and secondly, visit them again this year at Geneva Watch Days and see their new piece that they introduced. It's from the Atelier series, and it is the classic Otto in sandstone. And before you say that this is another salmon dial watch, it's not. This is not salmon. It's not even copper. It's something different. I call it a warm sand-colored dial. This reminds me a little bit about the movie Dune. This would be a watch for that movie. This is something reflected on this particular watch. And if you have a look at the pictures I took or the wrist shots, this watch handles different kinds of light situations very well, and you see how many variations of this dial color you can get. Really incredible piece. Has a case diameter of 14 millimeters, approximately 12 millimeters in thickness, a very, very nice small seconds. Also, I applaud Laurent Ferrier for having 20 millimeters of lug width. This is very cool. Thank you very much. Therefore, if you want to change straps on this particular watch, you can, and there is a huge variety of materials and colors that you can choose from to pair to this watch. This watch is a strap beast because the dial is really a chameleon, and I put this type of colorway into the same category as a silver dial, a black dial, a gray dial, and even a blue dial. This is something that you can easily wear day in, day out with any type of outfit. It was summer when wearing it, so I wore a summery linen jacket. This is a super simple white t-shirt watch, and I really like it. I like the case shape. I like the attention to detail. I like the finishing. I like that it's perfectly round. It has smooth edges. This is something I really appreciate, and it is a very classic watch from a very cool independent watch brand. Something that if you haven't heard Laurent Ferrier, you should definitely look into it. Again, I will have a link to the watch down below. These are my 3 favorite watches from Geneva Watch Days 2024. I really enjoyed the trip. Can't wait for the next one. And there was one special thing I saw. I had the chance to preview the Sotheby's auction coming in early November, and there will be a separate video on this particular topic. Let's just say it was a special collaboration between Sotheby's and Hirsch, and I'm really, really happy that we made this possible, and it's really a great honor, but more on that in a different video. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe, and as always, if you feel like it, put a thumbs up. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.